Unresearched with Isaac Darlington.
Once again, in the Unresearched podcast, my name is Isaac Darlington, and today I have a guest who is a childhood friend of mine, Sabrina. I've even mentioned the name before she introduces herself. I remember before we did our P7 exams, that is primary living exams. Our parents, put us together. They did a small, like planned kids, like the planned kids where they did a small dinner, just to encourage us. Her parents are also ministers, just like my parents. So we had a dinner. Then they spoke to us, and then went and did the exams, and we passed. Now, okay, Sabrina, welcome to the Unresearched podcast.
Thank you very much.
It's been a very interesting journey for yourself.
Yeah,
and I felt like you would be a very interesting piece today, and an interesting piece of the Unresearched podcast. A word or two before we go any further.
Thank you very much, Isaac, for hosting me.
Yeah.
He has introduced almost the entire thing about me. But my name is Sabrina Joy. Kimera is in the middle there, then Nsereko. Yes.
So now you've already put two and two together. Just wave with the other hand. Wachitegera. Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing. Sabrina is a daughter, is a wife, is a mother.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's been a very interesting journey because I have watched her go through all of this together. I mean, I've watched her go through all of this.
Yeah.
And one thing I'll say is it's very interesting because you did nursing
Yeah.
and midwifery.
Yeah.
And now you are a businesswoman.
Yeah.
You're doing something very, very different from what you actually studied.
Very true.
She has a company. You see it on the screen. J Sabi. I don't know if I pronounce it well.
Yes,
J Sabi.
Yes.
Property Concepts Limited.
Yes.
And what inspired this transition from the world of nursing, science, and then now you're a businesswoman?
In Uganda, I could say in Uganda, it's all about keeping your mind up and straight all the time. I've had a journey where I transitioned from so many things. Jesab is not the first business I'm opening up.
Hey.
I've opened up numerous businesses, all having a certain struggle, but this came from a childhood dream that I had.
Okay.
I always wanted to construct homes. They were called, I have it somewhere in my notebooks, it was called the Zion Homes. And these were homes that were going to be specifically for single mothers and kids who didn't allow it to happen, but it happened to them.
Yeah.
And they found themselves maybe orphaned. So it was my dream as a child. I wanted to build those homes for single mothers and street kids, such that we would have all the street kids come to our homes. And yes, that's where that dream came from. So when we started, when I did the nursing, I'm actually a midwife by profession. But our Masao, you're like, hey, why don't I follow this childhood dream?
She said something. The life expectancy of most businesses in Uganda, small SMEs, is like 1 to 2 years.
Very true.
You start something, it will run for about 1 year, 2 years, and then game over.
Yeah.
But this one you have really hardlined on it, Jesabi.
Yes.
Is it because it's in line with your vision, or is it because it's having some mafaranga?
Well, you're right about the money, but it's me trying to follow purpose majorly, and I feel this is me living right now. And every step that I take in JSAB, everything we do, every morning I wake up, I'm like, God, I am only trying to follow your print mark. And that's all that I'm doing right now.
We all have different blueprints.
Yeah.
What I know for a fact is everybody has something that they are good at. The nursing and midwifery was something that you wanted, or was it something that, Mzee was like, this one here, there is an opportunity to make money. There is an opportunity to. What inspired the first decision to do nursing instead of a business course?
I don't know how to say this, but because my parents will kill me.
They will not kill you. You're someone's wife.
But
Yes.
when at my secondary school,
Yeah.
when we did our form 4, like all, it was instilled in us, because that school actually has produced many nurses and midwives. That secondary school, it's in a village up there. So when I finished and things happened, I'm like, let me go for nursing.
Yeah.
But my mom always wanted me to be a midwife. She just loved midwifery. So I'm like, it's fine. I applied as a nurse, but when I reported as a midwife.
Okay.
So the journey started. I really love midwifery. Don't be mistaken. I love midwifery.
And you can still give
Yes.
help.
Yes, I still do. I still do the midwifery, and there is no greater joy than hearing that baby's first cry. It's the most peaceful and beautiful sound you would ever hear. So, and then helping a mother transition through that it's just a blessing.
Bringing life into this world is, like you've said, a blessing.
Yeah.
And I think it's one that many of us really appreciate. You know, having the right hands
Yeah. Very
helping you to. Why is it that? By the way, why is it that many people say midwives are so tough? Midwives are so, you know.
Midwives are not tough, but that's a point of life and death. Because this mother can, and it's a point of life, death, and then my paper, my license of being put on a standstill for every mother. So if you lose a mother, the Ministry of Health has to come and follow up.
What
Check
happened?
what happened? Where was the problem?
Yes.
And you can lose your license
Just
not
like
to
that.
work just with one mother. So then sometimes you just want, sometimes some midwives just want this person to deliver and come out of this. But then some women really, because that time is really painful. I've been through it. It's really painful. And the only thing sometimes the mother could be thinking about is just the baby. But a midwife is thinking about
Many
three things at a time.
The woman's life,
The woman's life, the baby's life,
her license.
and her license. That's what we are thinking about. But sometimes the lady is like, I'm in too much pain. Let me just, sometimes they're not
You
thinking
guys said
straight.
the hardest words. Words like, was I there when you're opening your legs? Words like, you want to kill someone's child, as if, you know. But anyway, some of you who have walked that journey, you can attest to that. Sabrina, you serve in 3 offices, 4 actually, because you're an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
you are a mother,
Yes.
you're a wife, and you're a daughter.
Yeah.
5, and you're a minister.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you balance all of these things? Giving each appropriate time, making sure that you have not cheated any of these.
I could say it's always, honestly, by the grace of the Lord. I am always with, for example, I'm always at Jesabi and I'm always with my son. So at least those 2 things don't have to complain. But then balancing ministry, balancing being a wife, balancing being a daughter.
You be there and you miss your husband.
And you be there, like, it's just by the grace of the Lord and you setting priorities. When you know which thing comes before the other, there is no way you will miss it out. Sometimes someone will want to put ministry above their husband or wife, or put ministry above.
People do that.
Very many people do that.
Yeah,
But when you look at the story of God, he's a father of all family, you get.
Yeah.
And when you go back, I don't want to open scriptures, but
You've already started, so we might as well just roll with it. Yeah.
When you go back to all these stories of our matriarchs in the Bible, you already see that even before they did certain things, they first had to talk to their wives about it, or they first had to talk to their husbands about it. But sometimes we think God, like, oh, for example, there's some people in church who will put their pastor above their families.
Above their
But
wife or above their
if
husband.
yeah, if you're a man of God, if you're a woman of God, and you're there for your family, but when you're there for your church or church members or ministry, but your kids are dying on drugs, then you're to God, because this is the first church. Let's be honest.
Yep.
If you're not a man of God in our home, there's no way you're going to be a man of God out there, because I'm the one to attest it first
Yes.
to
Yes,
all
yeah.
the others that surely he's a man of God. Yes.
You've mentioned some very, very key points. The first place of ministry is home,
Yeah.
with your family.
Yes.
Whether you are, by the way, this does not just apply to pastors.
Very true.
Whether you are a doctor, whether you are a business person, whether in your different business, the first place where you have to shine or shepherd or take care of your people are the ones who are directly under your custody.
Yes.
That is your wife, your children, and all that. Okay, so this brings up very interesting topics like stewardship, or topics like for me it would be stewardship, but we'll get into that another time. Let me first focus on J Sabi.
Yeah.
As our woman in this business, property concepts,
Yes.
you know, most times it's people just throw it up for men. It seems to be a job that most men do comfortably.
Yes.
How have you found this field, the field of entrepreneurship, and particularly properties and stuff like that?
One is this field is a field of faith.
First pause. You have an insect moving on your t-shirt here. Okay.
This field is a field of faith. I could say entrepreneurship is about faith. Like, because you're taking risks every day. You have your 50K that you can use it for whatever you want to use it for.
Yeah.
But you bet it. You could say bet. You bet it there in terms that when this happens, when this comes through, it will be able to do something for me in the future. So, of course, in Bali, I've not yet, I don't know if she's there. If you're there, you're doing a great job. I have not yet met someone, a lady in this field. Most of the property concepts I'm seeing around are gentlemen. And the lay language for real estate real estate agents is broker. And if you have been in Bali, they will give you someone's contact, but most of the brokers are men.
Yeah, even when you get to Kampala.
Yes, even when you get to...
doesn't matter. Usually it's...
majorly it's men. But when God calls you to a space of men, it's just him loving you enough to give you a responsibility that you can do this and do it in a faithful way, because this tackles everything that comes out of you. So business is, you have to be there. You have to give up your whole sweat, do everything right, read the right books, prepare the right way. When going to meet a client, what do you say? How do you dress? How do you speak? What earrings are you putting on? Like, you go down to the details. And some people don't really go down to the details.
How do you dress? What do you say? What earrings do you put on?
Yeah.
It's a bit thorough, I think, for a woman. Have you faced, you know, challenges of maybe being bullied, you know, by different, because it's a very competitive market, and sometimes you'll get a client and you'll tell the client, this is the amount of money, this is how we're going to do it, and the client, just because, and you can feel it in the way they're talking, that this is a lady, so I can still have my way and stick to what I previously. Have you faced some of the, what are some of the challenges you have faced?
Some of the challenges I've faced is when someone meets you, well, I don't know whether I look young. Sometimes they are like, really? Like, you're just a young girl. I'm like,
They don't know
yeah.
that you are a mother
Yeah, like,
and a wife.
they're like,
Yo,
you're just a young girl.
Mm.
I'm like, no, I'm not, but I am in this field. And then there's some who want to take advantage, but you have to stand your grounds, because there's certain things I'd never entertain. So if it is A, and you're not going to follow the principles or the values that we take as a company, then it's no business
We
for
kwenda
us.
huko.
Yeah, you go, like you
and
go
do
and try another person.
another company.
Yes, and it's helping us move. Yeah, it's really helping us move, because like, for example, a client we met yesterday, I just sat down, started reading, drafted a document,
Yes.
and I went to the client. I'm like, this is what I have. If you want to work with a company, these are the terms and rules. I will give it to you. Take your time to read it. Take your time to go through everything. If you're okay, then we can work. Of course, his property has been around for a very long time, and I am sure he has worked with so many people.
Of years.
And when he saw my proposal, he's like, you know what? Tuende tu kunyoma, but we will work with you. So the capability also comes in. Are you bold enough? Are you confident enough? Because when I'm telling you I have this, then I have it. If I don't have it, I'll tell you, let me first make a call. One thing I've tried is being truthful to every client who approaches us. So when a client calls me, for example, a client can call you and tell you, I want a house in the middle of town. What's your budget? 100,000. And I want it self-contained. It must have a ceiling. It must be in a gate. Like my onyeka. And you're
That
like,
client really is
they
very
are there.
interesting.
And you're like, no, but we have these other options outside town. You're like, no, I told you. Then I'm like, you know what? It's not possible. And
Instead
then,
of wasting
instead
time.
of wasting time, I tell you it's not possible. The options we have are these. And then some client will of course take it personal, but you're like, I am trying to help you, because someone will carry you, and we have those brokers. Ajja kusitula, akutambuza ekibuga. They tell you they have a house, but they take you to 5 different properties, of which all of them are way above your budget.
Oh, they're not in the location.
They're not in the location but akugambia inachi. So we always want to be straightforward, and that is what is helping me right now.
All right. So as we wind down our minutes in this episode of the Unresearched, what are some of the beautiful things that you've experienced being the entrepreneur that you are now in this field?
The beautiful things is, of course, meet new people and get to learn. Learning does not stop, but each day you find that you're learning something new. And then also some things challenge me, and they're helping me grow personally. For example, when you go and you're seeing certain one of the best buildings in Bali. You're seeing this building is for so and so, this building is for so and so, this building is for so, and then you're like, where are the children of light? You get what I'm understanding? Where are the children of light? We are not anywhere attached to these buildings, but we are always speaking in tongues. Where are we in this space?
Tongues don't buy buildings.
Tongues don't buy buildings, so we have to go out there and work out.
Let's make sure we balance our prayer life, our work, just make sure that everything is done right. The Unresearched podcast today, I've been very honored. Thank you so much for being a part of the Unresearched podcast. J Sabi is your #1 property
concepts.
I mean, if someone wanted to consult, it's called a consultant.
Consultant.
Yes. If you want to if you want a piece of land, if you want to get a place to rent in Mbale, do you work slightly out of Mbale also, or specifically within Mbale?
Yes. We actually, our coverage is going to be Eastern Uganda.
Nice.
Yes,
so Eastern Uganda, but for now we are still growing in.
We are still growing, though we have taken over 2 cities, Mbale and Jinja.
Okay, we are even in Jinja. So if you want a piece of land, if you want a place to rent, you want to set up shop, you have a business and you're looking for a place, that you can set it up at, you can contact J Sabi. The contacts are running at the bottom of the screen, and they will be able to help you out.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much once
you.
again for being a part of us.
Thank you very much, Isaac.
God bless.
God bless you.
Unresearched with Isaac Darlington.